When headlines break, the real impact rarely shows up where people expect it. This is not a story about Venezuela alone. It's about how a single, targeted operation creates second and third-order effects, ones that move markets, reshape diplomacy, and quietly alter trade risk across North America. The operation itself was narrow and successful. President Maduro was removed from power quickly, decisively, and with clear intent. But political risk doesn't end at execution. The consequence was immediate unease among regional partners, less about Venezuela, more about precedent. The impact is broader uncertainty across North American relations, arriving just ahead of the critical 2026 USMCA review. Think of this operation as a stone dropped into still water. The drop itself is contained. What matters are the ripples it creates and how far they travel. This was not an impulsive action. It followed months of signaling, particularly US interdictions tied to drug smuggling routes in the Caribbean. The execution was fast, effective, and aligned with US national security priorities in the Western Hemisphere. No US casualties. Primary objectives achieved. From a tactical perspective, this worked. The real audience wasn't Venezuela. The message was simple: align with US policy, or risk becoming the next example. Images of Maduro in custody weren't incidental. They were strategic signaling meant to recalibrate behavior across Latin America. The first ripple wasn't economic. It was political. The operation triggered immediate debate across the hemisphere, less about Maduro's removal, more about how it was done and what it implied for sovereignty and precedent. Officially, the US framed the action as a law enforcement operation. Internationally, it was viewed very differently, criticized as a clear violation of international law and a challenge to the post-World War II liberal order. The contradiction was not lost on observers, particularly given recent pardons of leaders convicted of similar crimes. The result: legitimacy questions that now complicate diplomacy. Two questions now matter more than any headline. First, does Venezuela stabilize or fracture further as factions compete for power? Second, how deep does US involvement go, particularly around oil, critical minerals, and anti-smuggling commitments? The answers determine whether this moment closes or escalates. This is where business feels the impact. Trade doesn't react to intentions, it reacts to uncertainty. Regulatory hesitation, political risk premiums, delayed investment decisions, these are the downstream effects now facing North American trade flows. This operation didn't occur in isolation. It reinforces a broader pattern of assertive US policy, visible in rhetoric, targeting, and the linking of trade tools to security objectives. For partners across the hemisphere, the takeaway is clear. US policy is becoming more conditional and more transactional, and that shift matters far beyond Venezuela.